So today we're going to be talking about increasing bookings in your brand with connection and building your brand, with connection points on social media. All right. I know that we are all thinking about gaining more followers when we are talking about social media. Everybody wants more followers, right? We want to see those bigger numbers. And while wanting more followers is not a bad thing, oftentimes there are people ready to book with you within the current following that you already have. Those are the people who may have booked with you before, but by being on social media, you stay top of mind. So they're reminded that maybe they want to book with you again this year. Or maybe they want to refer you to a friend when a friend says, hey, I really want to get some photos done this year. Do you know of anybody you'd recommend? It's full of people who may have not booked with you yet, but want to get to know you a little bit better, want to learn about you and your business to see if you might be the right person to do their photos for them this year. There's all kinds of opportunities. It's like I've told you guys before too, we focus on these numbers, but at the same time, if you're a wedding photographer, what do you need? Maybe 20 or 30 couples max a year. That's it. So I hope that puts things in a little bit of perspective for you, because a lot of times our clients are right there waiting for us. However, what we're going to talk about today is perfect for gaining new followers and engaging current followers so that you can get more bookings. Hey, Rachel, it's good to see you. Hey, Kayla, thanks for joining me live, guys. All right, so let's dive in. So what are connection points? Connection points are the things about yourself, the things that you love, the things that you associate with, the things that connect and bond you with future clients on social media. They are the very things that make you relatable to your audience, okay? They are important because people can't relate to you being a photographer, but they can relate to the fact that you are a human being, okay? Connection points bring you down to earth. They show people that you're not just a business, but a person, and seeing you as a real person builds trust. All right. When someone can see a reflection of the person that they are in you, they feel understood. And when someone feels understood by you, they like and trust you. Okay. In an industry that's ever growing with more and more photographers, an effective way to stand out in your market is simply by being you. Allowing your personality to shine and be the basis of your brand is something that will not only help you to stand out, but it can't be duplicated by anybody else. And when you use connection points to build a personal brand, you're no longer in a market of many. You become a market of one. Hey, Sophia, glad to see you here. So let's talk about some examples of connection points, okay? So when we are talking about connection points, the things about you, who you are, and your personality, we're talking about things like your favorite TV shows, your favorite food. This is always a good one because everybody loves food, right? Your hobbies, your passions. Maybe you like to cook. Maybe you like to work out. Your habits. Maybe you're a weirdo like me who alphabetizes their spice rack. Maybe you put tobacco sauce on every single thing that you eat. It can also be personality traits. Maybe you're funny and loud. Maybe you're sweet and loving. But what these connection points do, or they are the things that make your followers say, oh, me too. Or there's something notable that they will remember about you. Connection points strip the idea that you're just a business, and they humanize you. They humanize you. And this is what makes you relatable and creates a bond with your followers, okay? You can also attract and repel with these connection points. For example, there are a lot of photographers out there that use their spiritual beliefs as a connection point. And that is a huge attractor or a repeller depending on who your audience is. Marketing is meant to attract the right kind of people to your business and repel those that are not your people, and connection points do this, okay? The purpose of connection points is for your clients to fall in love with you and become a raving fan before they even hire you. All right? They're to help keep you top of mind even when they're not seeing a post from you right in front of their face. Okay? I want to tell you guys what I mean by that. One of my connection points is the fact that I love grilled cheese. It's my favorite food. Love it, love it, love it. And it's to the point over the years where I have literally had people message me in my DMs and say, hey, I'm traveling in whatever town, and I just sat down and they have like this mega grilled cheese that was amazing, and I immediately thought of you. I actually had someone in my Facebook group who was traveling, and I believe she was traveling, and she was in a gift shop, and they had a grilled cheese cookbook. And do you know that she actually bought that and shipped it to me as a gift? She was out nowhere near social media. She wasn't on my website. I wasn't standing in front of her face, but she saw something out in the world that reminded her of me. My connection point was marketing for me, even when I wasn't actively marketing myself. Think about that. All right. Rachel says, ice caps. People message me almost daily, right? Something so benign that you can easily share. People will remember about you. It is amazing. And it markets for you, even when you're not standing in front of their face with a post, with your website, speaking to them. That is effective marketing, guys. Connection points cause people to like you, and when people like you, they begin to trust you. And when people like and trust you, they will hire you. Connection points not only build a bond with your audience, but they build your brand. And these unique elements that make up who you are set you apart from the sea of photographers that are out there. All right? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to get a pen and paper out, and I want you to sit down and just brain dump all the things you can think of about yourself. Who you are, your personality traits, your likes, your dislikes. It may take just a few minutes. You don't need to spend a whole lot of time on it. It shouldn't take you too long. But I'll tell you this, if you end up struggling, what I want you to do is to talk to the people you're closest to in your life. I really encourage you to do that. Ask your friends, your family, your partner, what are the things you know that I love, the things that I enjoy doing, my preferences, my hobbies, my favorite things, or even what I don't like? What are the things that when you see or hear about them, you think of me? Because sometimes we're so busy in our lives, and a lot of us, especially if you're like a parent, or you have a loved one that you take care of, a lot of times we're not focusing on us, and we can forget about all these fun little facets and facts about us that it may seem like they're trivial to us, but other people find interesting. So if you struggle with trying to figure out what connection points are about yourself, ask the people that love you best. Ask them. So for example, some of mine are that I wear black all the time. I love grilled cheese. I am super organized. I collect crystals. I'm an artist. I paint and I draw. I love music. Susie and the Banshees is my favorite band. I love kitschy retro horror. And I also share on occasion about my relationship with my husband, Mr. B. I refer to him as Mr. B. Our last name is Boschich. It's hard for people to pronounce. I say Mr. B. And I've said it so much to the point that not only do my clients ask about him, or people that follow me on social media, but I have friends who actually now refer to him as such because I call him Mr. B so often and refer to him in my social media as a connection point. So do this. Once you have your brain dump complete, then I want you to start deciding what connection points you want to incorporate in your business. I want you to narrow these down to about 6 to 12, half a dozen to a dozen, and start incorporating these regularly into your social media posts. And side note, these also belong on your About Me page on your website, okay? Because not all people are introduced to you through social media, right? We're focusing on social media today, but people inevitably are going to go on your website. And if that's the first place that they meet you, then you want to connect with them there. All right, so remember that. So let's talk about choosing what connection points to share. All right, so remember, people will be attracted to your connection points or they will be repelled by them. And that's part of building your brand. And I don't want anyone to freak out about, well, I don't want to send people away. You want to send people away who are not thrilled about what you're doing. If people feel lackluster about you and your business, that is not who you want to work with, because they will not value your price point, they will not value your work, and they will keep asking for more and more. You want people who are thrilled about you and what you do. That's who you're looking for. So it is okay to attract those amazing people and repel the ones who are less than thrilled. Okay, I want you to remember that, because I know that can be hard for some people if that's a new subject matter to them. Okay, now you might say, Becca, I am a really private person, or I'm really introverted, or I'm just not used to telling people about myself, and I feel really awkward doing this. I want you to just take a deep breath, and I want you to remember that you are in absolute total control of your brand. You get to choose what you will share and what you don't. All right, so if you feel any way about that, please know that. When it comes to connection points, I feel that there are two types. There are personal connection points, and then there are private. All right, a personal connection point might be your favorite food, your pets, a hobby that you love to do in your spare time. A private connection point might be a health issue that you struggle with, maybe the names of your kids. Some people don't really want to share about their children, and I can understand that. I can understand there's a lot of reasons. It also could be a specific social, religious, or political belief or cause that you have. Basically, I feel that these personal connection points versus private, personal is more of a benign aspect of your personality that doesn't make you feel awkward or uncomfortable about sharing. You share what you want, it's your brand, but personally, I prefer to share personal connection points versus private that make my audience feel connected and bonded with me, but at the same time, make me feel comfortable sharing. There's nothing private about me sharing that I love grilled cheeses. No, you know what I mean? But people connect with that. They can connect with the love of food. I'm a very private and introverted person. I know I don't come off that way because I have a lot of extroverted behaviors. The fact that I can speak in front of large groups of people or speak in lives every week on, Facebook, or the fact that I'll be happily able to get out in the middle of a dance floor or go to, art shows and concerts and things and be around tons of people and chit chat. I'm actually very introverted and I'm very private. And my husband, Mr. B, and I, we love our private little life. But I understand that it's important to have social skills. It's important to let people in a little bit and let them get to know you if you want to connect. Our industry is about service. It's about people. So if you feel uncomfortable or if you feel introverted in any way like I do, let me know that, or let me tell you that there's a balance you can have. There's an absolute balance that you can have. You can still share about yourself. You can still make connections with people. They're going to help you get more bookings. Is anyone else that's watching live today, are any of you guys introverts? I know I have a couple extroverts here in the group, but for the most part, I think a lot of us are introverts. That's very, very typical of creatives, especially, if you have a little bit more of the right brain kicking. Ultimately, you need to choose what makes you feel most comfortable, okay? So even though I am a person who doesn't like to be on display, most would never guess that because of the way that I share parts of myself on social media. John says, definitely introverted, need to recharge by myself. Absolutely. I have a time limit, John. Kayla says, me too. I have a time limit when I'm out socially, even if it's just like doing errands and stuff, not so much like if I'm going to a birthday party or something. But usually my limit is around 3 to 4 hours and I start getting really exhausted. It's one of the reasons why I like to focus on the wedding part of my business as elopements and intimate weddings. They're a little bit shorter, at least the ones that I work with are a little bit shorter on time. And that's because I have a time limit and then I need to recharge. Otherwise, I will be under a blanket for the next 48 hours trying to recuperate. John says, I can fake it for a while, but it's exhausting. Weddings are not for me. I can understand why. I think my history as a former dental hygienist, where I had to be in front of people all day long, I had to, care for people and diffuse situations, sometimes people that were afraid or anxious, things like that. I've gotten quite used to, I don't want to say being on stage, that's such a bad description, but I've gotten so used to interacting that I can do well with it. But even if you do well with it, that doesn't take away the fact that your personality type expends energy the longer that you're sitting conversing with someone or the longer that you're out in the public. So I totally understand that. All right, so let's talk about narrowing down those connection points. When you're narrowing down your connection points, I want you to consider to strategically choose at least a few that will heavily resonate with your audience in a way that will benefit your brand. So, for example, one of the ones I mentioned earlier was that I'm super organized. I like to share that aspect of who I am because I feel that being organized is important to my clients, especially couples who are considering me as their wedding photographer. It makes absolute sense to me to share that. I want them to know that they can count on me. That is an actual aspect of my personality, so I strategically share that for that reason. I also love to share about my love for grilled cheese because even if my followers can't stand a grilled cheese, they can understand the love for food. All of us enjoy food. We all have a favorite we'd want to never go without. So even if my followers don't have the exact same love for food or this particular food as I do, the fact that I have a favorite food resonates with them regardless. So if you have a love for something, or maybe you collect an item that people run into pretty regularly, share that. Share that. Just like me and grilled cheese, maybe there's something about you that when a follower is out and about in public and they see it, they think of you. Connection points like these keep you top of mind. All right. So, like I mentioned in my last live, sometimes we get really overwhelmed with social media marketing, and your success can boil down to these things that seem insignificant, but in fact, they're super impactful when it comes to increasing your bookings. It's these little tweaks, guys. It's these little tweaks in your marketing that can make all the difference in the number of bookings that you get. Connection points help your audience to feel understood. It makes them feel like, oh, she's a Netflix and chill fanatic. Me too. This person gets me. Make sense? When people feel understood, they feel connected to you. They like you. They trust you. And they want to book with you.